life is moving ever upward. My feet are leaving the ground. Up, up, up to a higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place.
No more downward, no more darkness, no more wondering the point of it all. My life is destined, oh, for greatness. My soul has answered the call.
Up, up, up to a higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place.
Yes! Good morning. Do you feel your soul rising to a higher place? Whoa! What a great way to start the morning. Welcome, welcome. I'm so glad to see everybody. And you know what? I recognize all the faces that are here this morning. Isn't that the best? So good morning, and I'm so glad that you're with us this morning. And as part of the tradition is the weather. Well, you know what? It's quite nice out, but cold. 7 degrees at my house this morning, and it was 22 when I came down. But you know what? It's February. What do we expect, you know? Had a little dusting of snow, which made everything pretty for 24 hours. And so how did we already get past the middle of February? Oh, my goodness gracious. So glad you're all here with me this morning. Fasten your seatbelts because we are going to be on a ride today. And so let us begin as we do by standing and singing together if you feel like it, or sitting if you feel like it. You get to choose always.
Come, let us gather together. This is a place of love. We come together as people of prayer. This is a house built on love. Come, let us gather in peace. This is a sacred space. We join our hearts here in one loving family. This is a house built on love. We come together as people of prayer. This is a house built on love.
Yes, please be seated. And I'm going to invite you, all of you that are right here in front of me, and those of you that are joining us online, I'm going to invite you into prayer. Oh, yes. Open up your hearts even wider than they already are. Let the love that you are just pour out. And we know that there are many places right now where love is needed. There may be some people in your own life right now that need that love? And if there is, speak their names out. There's such a power in joining our hearts and our minds together as we just send love into the world. And for those whose names were just spoken, we know that whatever is needed is already being provided. And we just say thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the knowing that love is always present. That love is the essence of who we are, and it is the essence of every person whose name you just spoke. And that they're accessing that love right now, remembering the truth of who they are. And so we send out our love to the world, to every place that there is need for love, and oh my, there is so many places. But you know, we don't have to worry about it. We don't need to worry about where the love is going because love knows where it's needed. And don't you just love knowing you're loved? Because if I'm loving you, then I know that you're loving me. And that is the best. And so it is, and we let it be. Amen. Amen. Yes. So, a couple things I want to share with you this morning. One is, I'm so proud of myself. I'm patting myself on the back. I think I told you folks recently that I was starting to do some decluttering. Well, yesterday I had the desire and the courage to start decluttering some of Rev Leroy's things. And so that was, you know, it's only been 2 years, and his closet, his clothes have still been hanging in the closet. So yesterday, I took a whole bag of shoes and got rid of those, and I have 2 bags of clothes that are going to somebody that can wear them, which I'm really happy about. And many of you know that he was an avid bicyclist before he got sick. And so I had a big tote of bicycle jerseys and all that stuff. And I found a place in Portland on Washington Avenue that I could take it to, and they could resell some of them. So I was very happy to do that. So it's a process. It's a working process, and I'm feeling the desire to continue with it, and so I'm just telling you because I need to be accountable to somebody, and you're it. So thank you for hearing me. Oh yes. So, and I encourage everybody. I was talking to a colleague or a friend yesterday. He's my prayer partner, and he was cleaning out, starting to do some decluttering, and he sent me a text, and he said, we realized we had 8 whisks. How many whisks do you need? So that is what I find. It's just amazing when you start to look at all the stuff that you have that you don't need. So with that being said, let us begin our service with our invocation. And again, you consider stand whatever you desire. And let us say together, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God, the good, omnipotent. One presence, one power, active in our life. And our vision statement is, centered in divine love, we celebrate a spiritually transformed world. We celebrate a world where everyone is treating each other with love and kindness and respect. Our mission statement is, Unity Center for Spiritual Growth reaches in to reach out through education, service, and creation of community. And our core values. We are loving, we are accepting, we are authentic, We are transformative. We are soul-centric. We are compassionate, and we are welcoming. And that is the truth about us. And our community song is?
Community song is I Am. There it is. I am as God created me. I am a light in this world. I am as God created me. I am, I am, I am as God created me. I am a light in this world. I am as God created me. I am, I am, I am. You are as God created you. You are the light in this world. You are as God created you. You are, you are, you are. We are as God created us. We are the light in this world. We are as God created us. We are, we are, we are, we are as God created us. We are the light in this world. We are as God created us. We are, we are, we are. I am as God created me. I am a light in this world. I am as God created me. I am, I am, I am.
That was absolutely beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Whew. That kind of took my breath away. So now is the time that we greet one another. And as I mentioned earlier, I recognize all the faces in this room. So, but I don't know who's joining us online. So if you are joining us online for the very first time, we would love it if you would put your name in the chat and let us know where you're coming to us from. We would love to recognize you. And for anybody that's joining us online, please put comments in the chat. I want to go home and read them. So please do that. And so let us now greet one another as we do by singing together Namaste once, and then the second time through we use that to greet one another with whatever way greeting is for you, whether it's a nod, a bow, a smile, whatever.
Namaste, namaste. My heart sings namaste. The Christ in me, behold. Christ in you.
Christ in you.
Namaste. Namaste.
Yes. Don't you feel lighter already? Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, the energy of each of us just buoys each other up. Oh, I love it. So this is a part of the service that I share our 5 basic principles. And these are the tools that you have in your spiritual toolbox to get you through the difficulties that may show up in your day-to-day life. And there is nobody on this planet right now that I don't think experiences at least once during the week when something triggers them. Something, and I don't want to even say triggers, where something causes them to flinch, to go, oh God, no. How am I going to deal with this, or whatever else it may do? But these, know that you have tools, which is wonderful. And these tools are your spiritual guides. The first one is God is good and everywhere present. Everywhere present, because God is wherever you are. The second one is everybody is inherently good. Everybody is inherently good. And we have to remember that. If we know that for them, we know that for ourselves as well. And so I'm going to bring it back to self today, because if you are doing any self-talk that is less than loving, stop it. Stop it. Yes. Because you are whole and complete, and you are loved just the way that you are. And if that's true for you, it's true for everybody else that's showing up in your life. The third one is our thoughts are creative. Everything is created twice, once in our mind and then in the physical. And so I want to talk about this a little bit more too, because when you have a thought, watch it. Because the next thought after that is going to have some significance to that thought. So you want to make sure that the thoughts that you're holding are thoughts that you want, because you're going to have this tirade of conversation that's going to follow that first thought. So make sure it's the thought that you want. Does that make sense to you? Good. The fourth one is prayer and meditation. That is the foundation of all of this. Having a prayer and meditation practice. I want to share something with you. I took a course this week on self-care. Anybody need that? And one of the things that I committed to, because boy, you have so many habitual patterns, and it is sometimes very challenging to move out of a pattern. But the one that I've done this week, and I'm not going to say it's going to stick, but it's stuck so far, and that was on Wednesday, so this is Sunday, so I've had 4 days. I don't take my cell phone into the bedroom at night. I used to do that, and I'd scroll it or whatever. If I'm going to scroll, I do it before I go to bed, before I go into the bedroom. So the cell phone stays out in the other room now. That's a biggie. The second one is that I don't pick it up until after I've done my morning readings and my writing. So those are two very, I'm trying to break up with my phone. And so those are two things that I'm doing, and I see the benefit. So if there's something that you're doing that you want to change, prayer and meditation is where it begins. When you begin to put a practice in that sets you up for the day. And I can see the difference in my day with just these little things that I'm making a change on. And so the last one, of course, is putting them into practice. And that's what I've been doing. I committed to it, and now I'm putting it into practice. And so, what have you done this week where you've used these tools and they have made a difference in how you saw something? Dawn.
This is around thoughts held. I've been watching YouTube videos by a woman named Sarah Landon. I find him very helpful. And one of the nice things about the video is you can pause it when she says something that really strikes you. Yeah. I've looked for Pat's pause button, but I haven't found it yet. She talks about when you get triggered or upset. She also has this idea of stop, just stop it. And then she says she takes several deep breaths, and she goes into her heart. What would it feel like to be free? What would it feel like to be prosperous? And as a budding actor, one of the exercises that we have is that you study your character and you want to know his motivation and so on and so forth, and you do your monologue, and the instructor says, that was wonderful. Now let's do it differently. Instead of doing this as though you were sad, now you're pissed off. Well, the wheels really start spinning, but it's been helpful because I'm slowly, and this is a skill you can learn. I'm slowly acquiring that skill of being able to change thoughts from, oh my God, this is awful, to, well, maybe I can get it to neutral. Who knows how the universe works? YouTube, who'd have thunk it?
I spend my spare time, my unproductive, well, it is productive because I watch a lot of YouTubes now. I don't watch TV, but I choose YouTubes that I want to watch, and I tell you, it has made a huge difference in my life. So thank you for that, Dawn. And I'll see if I can locate the pause button. Does anybody else have something that they would like to share? Anybody else have a story or whatever that they want to share? All right, well, we'll just move right on then. All right, well, you can understand the value of these principles. And as I said, I share them with you every week because of their value. So now we're going to shift gears, and I'm going to invite Betty Lou to come up and read our daily word this morning. And for those of you that may not know, Betty Lou is one of our board members. She is a vice president of our board, and we are so blessed to have her.
Thank you, Reverend Pat. So this morning, I just have to share this before I share the daily word. I got here early, and Reverend Pat approached me and asked me to do the daily word because the person that was supposed to do it is sick. And I'm like, oh, okay, do I have to practice? So anyway, and you know, things just come to you, right? And I've been thinking about doing the daily word, so here's my opportunity. Yes, so the daily word today is acceptance. I practice acceptance and find peace. In the past, I have resisted unwelcome situations and unwanted outcomes. Over time, I have learned that my resistance did little more than leave me agitated and unhappy. I have learned to trade resistance for acceptance. Accepting situations as they are does not mean I like what is happening, but it does mean I am willing to be present to it without resistance or struggle. From that place, I am better able to work toward creating better conditions for myself and others. When I practice acceptance, I invite the presence of God to inspire and comfort me. I shift my attention from what might feel wrong to that which is always right, the absolute, unchanging goodness of God. Not that I am referring to being in need, for I have learned to be content with whatever I have. Philippines 4:11. Thank you. Thank you for your acceptance.
Thank you, Betty Lou. Thank you.
To open up Pat's talk this morning, this is a song by Daniel Nahman. Nothing to say, nowhere to go, nothing to do. I have no promises to make, no one to know, nothing to prove. It's a strange sort of existence, but somehow it seems so true. The only thing I really know is that I don't know a thing. The only sound that I hear now is the silence when I sing. The only sight my eyes can see is the darkness of my dreams. This is how I'm born to be empty. I know nothing is wrong, nothing is right. All is in all right now. Everything's gone, ambition and fight, no expectation at all. It's a new kind of intention, but somehow it seems so right. The only thing I really know is that I don't know a thing. The only sound that I hear now is the silence when I sing. The only sight my eyes can see is the darkness of my dreams. This is how I'm born to be.
I'd be perfectly fine if I stayed this way forever. Nothing on my mind, and I've never felt better.
The only thing I really know is that I don't know a thing. The only sound that I hear now is the silence when I sing. The only sight my eyes can see is the darkness of my dreams. This is how I'm born to be. This is how I'm born to be. Empty.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, we're continuing. Supercharged self-healing. What is the real you? Now, notice I didn't say, who is the real you? What is the real you? Remember, we've learned about sentience, the capital S self. What we really are. It's timeless wisdom and unconditional love. Timeless wisdom and unconditional love. Sentience is always aware. It commands energy into your mental body, which then creates thinking. Sentience is always aware. It is awareness, being aware. R.J. Spiner, the author, says, thinking is simply the movement of the past. One cannot be the awareness of thoughts and the victim of them at the same time. Thinking is simply the movement of the past. What is it they say? How many times a day do we say this, think the same thoughts over and over again? He goes on to say, our egoic identity uses thoughts and feelings to perpetuate and reinforce the sense of a separate self. This is one of the biggest things that we're facing as a society, as a species, is a sense of separation. There is such a feeling of aloneness, isolation, and separation. And our egoic identity keeps reinforcing that. Keeps keeping us thinking that we are separate. And this is why inner stillness and silence is needed. This is why we have to have some kind of a meditation and prayer practice that connects us, that reminds us that we are not separate. We are not alone. It stops the program of limitations from running. Because when we are thinking, most of the thoughts are about lack and limitation. Without thought, your limitation program ceases to run. What remains is tangibly true: freedom, limitless imagination, and joy. Joy. But we don't get to the joy when we're in these endless cycles of thinking that continuously create lack and limitation. So now we're going to look at feelings. We choose our feelings just as we choose our thoughts. Hear that. We choose our feelings just as we choose our thoughts. However, this isn't something that we consciously do, as it is part of our deep programming. It is part of our deep programming. Oh, I'm supposed to feel bad about that. Or I'm supposed to feel this or that because that's what my programming tells me. Think of it in this way. Our belief-based ego identity judges and reacts. It's what it's there for. Remember, we talked about ego a few weeks ago, and ego isn't bad as long as we have it under the control of our higher self. Ego is needed. Ego was created to keep us from, fear of being eaten by a lion or something like that. When you have that, that's a good thing to have. But when it's running your life and keeping you feeling low, bad, I'm not enough, that's not helpful. That's not what we're talking. That's where we have to look at, what are we doing here? What are the thoughts that we keep perpetuating? And this is how we become a victim to our own and other people's creation. And as a result, we may struggle to control our emotions. And this can also add to how disharmony manifests in your body. When we are, one of the biggest contributors to sickness is stress. And stress is nothing more than thinking the same things over and over again that are making you feel bad, that are making you think that this is going to happen. What is it they say? 93% of what you think never comes about? But this is what we do. And this is why it is so important for us to learn how to control our thoughts and our emotions. Now, there's many times when emotions are necessary. You know, it's okay when you're in grief to cry. It's okay to have sadness. It's okay to feel angry. How many of us were taught not to feel angry? Yeah, isn't that a stressor? That's a big stressor. I'm supposed to do something that's totally contrary to what's going on. So remember that this is what our thoughts and our emotions and our ego-based identity that judges and reacts is what adds to the disharmony that we experience in our body. What does sentience do? If ego-based identity judges and reacts, sentience, which is the self, the big S self, observes and responds. Observes and responds. Sentience gives depth, context, and understanding to every moment of our entire existence. Inspiration is born directly of sentience. When we are in the zone, how many of you know that feeling of being in the zone? We are in direct alignment with sentience. When we are, I'm going to use Todd for an example, because if you've ever watched Todd when he's doing kirtan or drumming or whatever, you can watch him in that zone. He is in another place that is pure joy. Pure joy. And so that's what happens with sentience when we learn how to observe and respond instead of judge and react. I'm so grateful that you guys keep showing up every Sunday, because this is deep stuff. This isn't your run-of-the-mill, easy-going, oh, well, this is nice, and yep, oh, I feel good, I can go home now. You guys keep coming back for the hot stuff. It's pretty amazing. No, it isn't pretty amazing. It's who you are, and you know it. You know it. Ideas are flowing to us without filtering, critiquing, or any mental interference when we are in the zone, when we are in intuition. And it is here that we find the solutions to any problem or any challenge that we have. It isn't in the ego identity, because all that's doing is churning up the old stuff. Self-healing doesn't happen in the past or in the future. it occurs while fully experiencing the freedom and limitlessness built into every moment. It does not, you cannot get into that self-healing place from being in the past or in the future. It is right here, right now. So I'm going to ask you this. When prompted to indicate me, where is the common gesture or direction people typically point? The heart. Todd. Todd went here. No, Todd, it's usually, this is me. Here I am. I'm me right here. If you ask a little kid, who are you? Where are you? Me. I'm me. This is important. It is in the center of our chest. What we really are resides in the center of our chest, between the heart and the spine. Here are some protocols that RJ uses, that he used to heal his medical condition. And remember, I told you that he was paralyzed from the neck down and that he walked in 100 days, which was totally against what the diagnosis was. The first thing he had to do was not buy into the beliefs that he was the diagnosis. That he was the diagnosis. So he's giving us some practices that will be shortcuts to help us dial down the ego mind. Because that's where our work is working to get that offline. You know, when the internet goes down, we go offline. Well, take the internet down from your ego. So here are some shortcuts to dissolve the ego-mind identity. And he says, by engaging in these practices, we will drop away from our egoic beliefs and enter into the natural, harmonious state that is sentience. So the first step is self-inquiry. This shows us what has gotten in the way of the self and needs to be dissolved. This is what he writes. When the fire of self-inquiry is burning, stoke that flame. It will burn away everything that you are not. So here are the 4 exercises, and we're going to do them together. And I'm going to put them in Heart Thoughts this week with some additional information, because I can't get it all in this 20 minutes, 25 minutes. So I'm going to name them, and then we'll do them so that you get to experience them. So here's the 4. Who am I? Fingers to chest. Imagine you're a pair of eyes floating in space. And the last one is, I don't know. So he suggests that you do these 5 minutes each, 3 times a day. So, who am I is the first one. And so here's an example. Right now you're having a thought. Ask yourself, to whom has this thought arisen? The answer will be, well, to me. I'm the one having the thought. Then ask yourself, who am I? The mind will go blank because there is no who. That who is a belief-based ego identity. So let's try that for a moment. Who am I? What thought arises? Then ask yourself, who is having that thought? Who am I? You may or may not have gotten to the place of there was nobody. It was blank. That's the goal. But I'm going to give you these so you can practice them during the week. RJ says, ultimately, this is but one spirit moving through all of our there is but one spirit moving through all of our existence, and that is Source, God, Creator, whatever that name that you use. This practice will eventually dissolve the nagging questioner, the reactionary voice inside your head. That unloving and wholly judgmental presence that is the source of all of our suffering. You know, I go back to Byron Katie always when I think of suffering. She said, when I argue with reality, I suffer. When I argue with reality, I suffer. So if I'm in the now moment and accepting whatever is right here, right now, there's no argument. I'm not suffering. So use this exercise when you feel upset. Who is it that is upset? Well, me. Well, who am I? Use it when you get anxious. Who's feeling anxious? Well, me. Who am I? We are to do this self-inquiry period until the mind and body knows its place. That's what we're doing. We're training the mind and the body of what its role is. Physical discomfort and pain will have less of a hold over you when you ask, who is it that feels pain? I do. Who am I? Now we're going to do the next one, which is fingers to chest. So what he says is that who we are is between our heart and our spine. So if you take 2 fingers and put them right at your chest level, what you're doing is you're fully opening your heart chakra, which activates direct reunion with the self. So I'm going to invite you to keep your focus right there and notice what you may be feeling. You might be feeling some peace. You may not feel, you may be totally quiet. You may be at no mind. But this is the real you, right here. Have I lost you all? Come on back. Can you feel that? Can you feel how it stops the mind from running? What a great little practice. Okay, this next one is a little bit of a challenge. It was for me, might not be for you. Imagine you were a pair of eyes floating in space. Imagine your physical eyes floating in space with no connection to your brain. This is where pure creator awareness and its innate freedom lies. This is the tangible experiential seeing of what is, not filtered through belief-based judgment. Floating eyes are the depth of your wisdom, understanding, and compassion. Floating eyes promote the tangible recognition of your sentience in the center of your chest. So don't analyze it. Without the presence of egoic identity, there are no thoughts keeping you from experiencing your connectivity to all life, divine intelligence, and higher frequency. And that's where the goal is, friends. We want to be able to be up into raising that consciousness up, because that's where the solutions are. Remember, I keep telling you, Einstein said, the level, you can't solve the problem on the level of the problem. And this last one is fun. This last one is, say I don't know. Ask yourself a question that you don't know the answer to. So I was playing with this as I was putting this together. So here's an example. How many stop signs are there in the state of Maine? I don't know. I don't know. How many cats are in Portland? I don't know. And you know, not only do I not know, I don't care. So here's what happens when we come from a state of not knowing and not caring. We empty our lower astral, mental, and emotional container. We empty that lower part of us that has to know, that has to have the answers. And why is this important? We clear our thoughts, our memories, and our expectations. We just get them out of the way. In essence, we hit the pause button. We hit the pause button on the disharmonious egoic identity limitation program. Isn't that the best? And so why is this important? Here's what Ajay says. When the egoic identity has been disempowered, mental constructs are replaced with your innate completeness and the freedom of imagination. Your thought processes then change. Your thought process then changes. This alters the emotions you experience, the actions you take, the experiences you reach out for, and the behaviors you adopt. Can you see how this shape shifts you into that higher frequency? This is tangible proof of your healing, greater quality of life, and awakening when you're able to put these into practice. So as I said to you earlier, I'll put these in heart thoughts. We don't have time to do the 5 minutes for each one, but I'm really going to invite you to become an investigator and investigate whether or not these work. I want to hear back from you on this. So the takeaway from today is this. Once we stop the belief-based program of limitations from running, we regain our energy. This affords the experience of peace, clarity, harmony, and connectivity to the self, to the higher self. Your indomitable power resides within harnessing the total self. And Ajay says this, remember, wisdom and compassion flow through our consciousness on the river of intuition, not through thinking. The only impediment to this eternal and divine flow is the energetic thievery at the behest of your belief-based false self and its incessant ruminations. We keep ruminating over the same things, day in and day out. It's time to stop it. So let's prepare for meditation. And I'm going to be doing, yes. Yes, I can do that for you. They are, who am I? Fingers to the chest. Imagine you're a pair of eyes floating in space, and I don't know. Okay. And I'm going to be using a meditation from this chapter for our meditation today. So let's prepare.
When I'm quiet in prayer, I open my heart. I open my heart.
So as you allow yourself to just relax, letting your shoulders drop, your face relax, I want you to use your power of imagination and pretend that you have just arrived here with no past and no future. Feel the presence of self within the center of your chest. Stay there for a moment. You might even want to take your fingers and touch the center of your chest. Now bring all of your attention and focus to the sensation of touch in the center of your chest. Gently reach out from inside and touch your fingertips. This will activate your heart chakra. Gently feel your awareness, your inner sight opening from inside your chest. Stay with it. Don't judge it or analyze anything. As you effortlessly reside within your inner awareness, tangibly see what is within your body of energy. Locate and recognize where any imbalance exists through your heightened inner perception. This imbalance can be physical pain, it can be emotional discomfort, or mental anguish. Simply recognize where it is and what it feels like. Where is it located and what does it feel like? And once you've identified this imbalance, ask yourself, to whom has this imbalance arisen? The answer will be, to me. Then ask yourself, who am I? And you will get no answer. Dwell in the no mind, this meditative state, and simply let the imbalance float away. So I'm going to stop talking for a few minutes and just let you let it float away. Recognize it as it leaves. Whenever you feel any discomfort, use the fingers to the chest. And upon reaching out from inside the chest to touch your fingers, see and feel your heart opening so wide that its power ejects and removes any and all energetic imbalances within your field of energy. And now that you have this tool, repeat it as often as needed. And so now bring yourself back into this time and space. And we give thanks for what we are taking away from our time together this morning. And so it is. Amen. Thank you. Now, as we switch gears, would the real prayer partner please stand? Christine in the booth, okay. I'm seeing 6 prayer partners, and I didn't see anybody with a stole on, so. Thank you. Christine is here to pray with you if you would like some additional prayer. She'll be right down here with you. I'm happy to say that Reverend Elizabeth will be doing another blessing circle. It will happen at about 11:30, 11:45. It runs for about an hour or so. And I want to say the response that I heard from last week's blessing circle was over the top. So if you have time to stay for it, I really encourage you to do so. That will be a time for deepening your own prayer practices and learning and supporting other people and blessing in many, many different ways. Our Unity book group is still open if anybody would like to join us. We meet at 10:30 on Tuesday mornings on Zoom until noontime. And we are reading the book Healing Conversations Now that was written by our own Joan Chadbourne. And we've just started, so you still have time to join. The Power of 8 group meets at 4:30 on Thursdays from 4:30 to 5, and that group has been very powerful. And we are very grateful for those of you that show up for that. If you haven't showed up for it and want to, just email me and I'll make sure you get the link. And then I'm starting a new class. It's called Guest to Membership, and it will be on Monday evenings for 3 Mondays from 6:30 to 8:30. And it's a time to join me as we explore Unity teachings and tools for your life that bring in love, peace, and joy. So it'll be a fun thing. It will be online, and it's a great way, again, for connection and community. So I hope you join me. It's on a donation basis. Community Drum Circle happening on March 23rd from 7 to 9 right in here. And that's with Reverend Todd and all the people that join him. And I know we got some drummers in this room, so make yourself available for that. It's a Saturday night from 7 to 9. I also want to bring up the silent retreat. I talked to you earlier about self-care. There is one of the ways that you can really practice self-care, and that is to give yourself the opportunity to be in silence for 3 days. It begins at 3 o'clock on Friday and ends at noon on Sunday, and it is a time for your own inner journey into your own being. And now you have some tools to practice that when you're there, you can really put them into practice and close down that chatter. So we're hoping that you will make that a priority for yourself if you haven't done it before, and if you have done it before, you know the value, and we'll do it again. So the deposit needs to be in by the end of the month, and so that's just a week or 10 days away. So make the decision. Just do it. You know, the Nike thing, just do it. And you won't be sorry that you did. And then we have ongoing Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays with Reverend Barbara on YouTube and on Facebook Live at 8 o'clock in the morning with her meditation practices. You have ample ways to put these practices, what we're learning here, into practice. Friday night with Dina, 10 songs. I love reading the comments. I don't always get there, but I love reading the comments that people leave for both Barbara and Dina. And then monthly, Leah does a meditation on the third Thursday. So those are the things that are happening. We always have some really great stuff going on, so make sure that you check Heart Thoughts and our website. I also want to invite you to take one of these if you have not. These are a little bit of, it's a pamphlet on our community, but it is also the opportunity to become a consistent giver. And what consistent giving means is that you sign up for so much a month, and whether you're here or not, we are blessed by it. So it really helps with the finances when we know that we have, and we have a lot of consistent givers, and we're really grateful for that. So if you want to take one of those and read it, please do if you're not a consistent giver. And now let us do our offering statement. Here we go. Divine love flowing from me blesses you, and flowing through me blesses you, because that's where it is. Divine love is flowing through you and me. So thank you for your tithes and offerings, because they are so valued to this community.
While the offering is being taken, please join us in singing I Am So Blessed.
Grateful for all that I have.
grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Oh, we are so blessed. Holy cow. Thank you, thank you, thank you for these tithes and offerings, knowing they go forth to do the will and the work of Unity Center for Spiritual Growth. Thank you to Chris Purinton for sitting in today. Our Scott, our AV guy, is in LA this week playing with his cousin. Thank you to our music team, to everybody. We are so, so grateful. Yes. So let us stand as we sing together. Oh, and we have coffee if you want to stay for coffee.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as the one source, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Please join me as we say together the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love. The power of God protects us. We are the power. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. For those of you online, thank you so much.